of our Executive Secretary, senior officials, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is my honor, on behalf of His Majesty's government, to welcome you all to this joint meeting of Sadc Ministers of Energy and Water, and indeed a very warm welcome to the Kingdom of Swaziland. Over the coming 2 days, our energy and water sectors, and especially our proposed projects and strategies, will come under close scrutiny as a key part of a process that we hope will precipitate, for the energy sector in particular, some of the most significant and pivotal steps in the history of Sadc. The high-level ministerial workshop and investment forum, which will be held tomorrow and Thursday respectively, will focus on the theme for mobilizing resources for sustainable energy infrastructure in the Sadc region. The theme presented by His Majesty King III when he took over the chair in August last year, and it recognizes three key and mutually dependent pillars: sustainable energy infrastructure, resource mobilization, and inclusive Sadc industrialization. In the extraordinary summit of Sadc Heads of State and Government in March 2017, ministers were motivated and mandated to convene a high-level ministerial workshop and regional investment conference on regional energy projects. That time has arrived, and the objective of the mandate is clear to us all: for more rapid and inclusive industrialization in our region, we need a very substantial amount of new investment in our energy and water infrastructure. Today's meeting will enable us to take stock, so to speak, and discuss strategies for the critically important 2 days ahead. In those discussions, there will not only be the ministers for energy and water for the Sadc states, but also ministers from other sectors, national, regional, and international investors, as well as development finance institutions, international cooperating partners, and representatives of our respective private sectors. Already on the table are the strategies and action plans for regional integration, economic growth, and alleviation of poverty, all in an environmentally sustained manner, whether capturing the broader picture of disaggregated into sectors or disaggregated into sectors. We know that faster industrialization is the key to more rapid economic growth and greater prosperity in a sustainable manner. And we are aware that without a substantial development of energy and water infrastructure, our development plans cannot be achieved. Of special relevance to this week's activities are the Sadc Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan, the Sadc Regional Infrastructure Development Master Plan, and its energy sector plan, and the Sadc Industrialization Strategy and Roadmap. In short, we know what we have to do to achieve our industrialization growth, but equally, we know that the necessary infrastructure demands resources which we currently do not have. That must be mobilized, and that is the reason we're here this week. We start from a relatively weak base. Our existing infrastructures for both power and water do not yet even meet a large proportion of the basic social needs of our respective peoples, let alone satisfying the massive energy and water needs of an industrialized economy of the present day. Access to electricity in some of our member states is below 20%, while only 60% of Sadc's population have access to safe drinking water. I believe we can all agree that in the instance, we would need to obtain for all our citizens access to secure, reliable, affordable, and sustainable energy and water resources. The plans and instruments that I have mentioned, among others, aim to create an environment that is conducive for investment and partnership in the water and energy sectors. Furthermore, owing to the transboundary nature of cooperation in energy and water resource development, these instruments aim to harmonize national and regional policies and regulatory framework to enhance regional cooperation and trade. They are vital components in an inclusive industrialization program. The region has identified and prioritized energy generation projects which will run into hundreds of billions of US dollars to be implemented from 2015 to 2027. The South African power pool itself has identified the following priority transmission projects: the Zimbabwe, Zambia, Botswana, Namibia, Zimbabwe Central Transmission Corridor, the Zambia, Tanzania, Kenya Interconnector, and the Mozambique Backbone Project. Honorable Ministers, it is reassuring to report that while there are still legislative and regulatory challenges that hinder the penetration of renewable energy in Africa, such projects are being given a high priority in Sadc region. supported by pledges towards key international objectives, such as the Sustainable Goals and the Paris Agreement on climate change. There's also an encouraging level of support for implementation of the demand-side power station concept, which is promoted by Sadc. Our region should now fast-track the creation of an enabling regulatory environment with smart incentives for energy-efficient initiatives to thrive, while also building the necessary capacity in the public and private sectors. A low-carbon pathway is crucial for Sadc to play its role in addressing climate change. We look forward to positive results from the recently established Sadc Center for Renewable Energy and Energy Efficiency. With the focus this week in the resource and mobilization for investment in energy infrastructure, the key issue on which to focus is the expectations of prospective investors. The plans are in place. The other side of the coin is, so to speak, is implementation and utilization. There will be a need to impress potential investors with our ability to implement our plans and to do so according to schedule and without impediment through regulatory and other challenges. We also need to convince investors that we are able to create an attractive industry to start and then grow through utilizing this greater supply of, as far as possible, cheaper renewable energy. Successful implementation of an energy infrastructure program and the resultant industrialization will be heavily dependent on an adequate supply of water. The Sadc region, however, is currently at only 14% of stored renewable water resources. That is very low by comparison with the 70 to 90% of industrialized countries. In Swaziland, we have worked hard to raise our level of water resources, now at 17% of storage capacity, with feasibility studies completed to guide the investment in further storage infrastructure to protect us from the impact of any further drought conditions. As we all know, there is an encouraging increased rate of water infrastructure projects in the Sadc Regional Indicative Strategic Development Plan that I mentioned earlier. The role of our cooperating partners in financing infrastructure investment is highly appreciated. Swaziland and Mozambique are grateful for being beneficiaries from the Regional Infrastructure Development Fund. The resources being for the Lomahasha-Namasha potable water supply project, which will benefit around 46,000 people by 2024. Madam Chair, honorable ministers, I conclude with my best wishes for fruitful discussions during today's meeting preparation for the coming 2 years that will represent a highly significant stage in the process of accelerating inclusive industrialization of the economies of member states. Thank you so very much.